Hi, everyone. Welcome to Women Entrepreneurs Radio with your host, Deborah Bailey. And I'm really glad that I could be with you today. If you are listening to this on a podcast directory, you can go to podomatic.com and find Women Entrepreneurs Radio, or you can go to dbcoach.podomatic.com. So that's another way for you to find out about the show. And also on iTunes, just do a search for Women Entrepreneurs Radio. Facebook.com/Women Entrepreneurs. That is the fan page for the show, so you can stop by there and like the page and share your information if you have a business or if you have any questions. And WomenEntrepreneursSecrets.com is the blog where there are tons of articles of interest to women entrepreneurs, and also links for the show and bios of the show guests are posted there as well. So there's lots of good stuff there for you to check out, so please stop by. And my site is DeborahABailey.com, and you can go on there and learn more about me and more about my books. So I hope that you will do that as well. So lots of different ways for you to learn more about the show and check out all the entrepreneurs who've been on and learn a lot from them. So today I'm going to introduce my guest, Octavia Conner. She's the founder and CEO of Say Yes to Profits, LLC. As a profit maximizer, and she's recognized as a leader in the business financial industry. Author of the best-selling book, Say Yes to Profits, 3 Methods for Building the Profitable Business of Your Dreams. Octavia is equipped with over 14 years of accounting and business development experience. And her proven profit maximizing strategies have enabled entrepreneurs to gain financial peace of mind and knowing they are maintaining a positive cash flow and healthy profits at all times. So welcome, Octavia. I'm really glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, before we get into more about your book, could you really share what was your journey? How did you get started?
Well, I started part-time because I was so afraid to kind of jump out there. So I decided to take baby steps, and I started part-time, and I really, really wanted an answer that this was for me. So after doing it part-time for about a year and a half, close to 2 years, I began to pray and seek guidance, and I got my answer. So I figured since I got an answer and it was a yes, that I was just going to jump out there and I was going to go to 6 figures in no time. And actually, I fell flat on my face. So I had to pull myself out of the struggle. At a point in my business, I had a negative $157 in my account, and I was behind on my mortgage and my car note. Kids needed to be fed, so on and so forth. And I really had to pull myself out of that struggle and build a truly profitable business and understand what it means to be a CEO and not just a solo entrepreneur or a solo employee, just really understanding what it means to be a profitable, successful CEO and how their mindset is different.
That's really a lot of good things that you said, because a lot of people, I guess you could say a lot of people who are experts never talk about the mistakes, and they never talk about the failures. They never talk about when they didn't have money or how that felt and what they had to do. They make it sound like it's so easy and it's all magic and just say the right thing and do the right thing and you'll instantly have money. And a lot of people out here listen to that. I know I was one of them, because you want to hear that. You don't know what to do, and someone tells you something, it sounds like it makes sense. So you try it, and then you find out something else. And I think your book, from what I, looked at what you sent me, it's really addressing things that have to be said right now to help people to make better decisions and really have successful businesses. So, what inspired you? Say, I'm going to put this out here now and help other people.
For the longest, I really was embarrassed because I felt like a hypocrite. Because here I am, an accountant with over 13, 14 years of experience, I'm able to see another person's problem and help them build their business, but at the same time of me helping them, I'm over here living client payment to client payment. Once I was able to pull myself out of that struggle, it took me a while because I really didn't want people to know that that is what I had went through. But I would share bits and pieces of my story, and I noticed how people would connect with me more, and they're like, I'm in that position, or I was there, and just to see that you've made it out of there, that lets me know I can do it. So when I began to receive that feedback more and more, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to put it all out there. Hey, you never know who you can help, and I believe in once you make it to that next level, you need to reach back and pull somebody up too. So you never know how your story can impact others. So I just figure, I'm human. I'm not the overnight success. I'm still growing, learning. And if I can help you not go through some of the struggles that I went through, then it's such a great feeling.
So you have your book is saying yes to profits, and you're going to share with us the 3 powerful strategies to gain time, freedom, and double the bottom line in 90 days. Now that sounds like something people need to hear. So, what are these strategies that you have come up with?
Well, I broke down building a profitable business, of course, in 3 powerful ways: the mindset, the money, and the profits. And I feel once you have those 3 things in order, as corny as it may sound, the sky is the limit, right? So if we start with the mindset, you cannot achieve anything in your life if your mind is not there yet. And that has to deal with money as well. So if you want to reach 6 figures, 7 figures in your business, you have to first be able to see it in your mind in order to see it in your pocket. So what I have noticed is a lot of times we will say, yes, we want to go to that next level. Yes, we want 6 figures. But then in the back of our mind, we're always doubting ourselves, right? We'll say, well, yes, I want 6 figures. And then it's, I can't make 6 figures right now. I have this on my plate. I have that on my plate. And maybe you do, but if you continue to tell yourself in the back of your mind that you can't do it, you will never, ever do it. So the first thing you need to do is you need to shift your mind to truly believe in the fact that all things are possible. One of the ways to do that is to say daily affirmations. And I always tell people, use the 2 words, I am. If you use those 2 words and you believe it in your heart, anything that follows I am is going to come to you. So if you're saying I am going to build a 6-figure business, then you will begin to build a 6-figure business because now it's in your mind. Once it's in your mind, you're going to begin to work towards that because now you're starting to believe in yourself. Another thing that I highlighted in my book, and it all has to deal with the mindset, what I have found is that entrepreneurs will begin to focus on what another entrepreneur is doing. So they'll find someone that is similar in their same industry, and they'll look at everything they're doing on Facebook, Instagram, and everything else that, you can put out there to the public. And what happens is they'll doubt themselves. And I used to do that. I would be on Facebook all day looking at what others are doing. And while I'm focusing on what they're doing, I'm not working. So therefore, I'm not making any money. And I'm not building my business because I'm too busy watching that person.
Yes.
And something happened to me, and I go through details in the book about it. But I remember one time where I was so focused on someone else and what they were doing that I didn't even realize the success that I was accomplishing in my own business. So I attended a event in Atlanta, and I was, focused on that person, their speech and how they're delivering and what they were doing. When I got up to present my speech, I actually did really well. But because I could not realize my very own success, later on I came back and people were like, "You did good, you did good." And all I could think about was how many pictures this person had on social media of them at the event, and I didn't have any pictures of myself at the event, but what I did have was I closed like 3 clients from one speaking engagement.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't realize that until later on because I was so focused on another individual.
Right.
So you have to really focus on yourself, and you have to believe in yourself and encourage yourself. And anytime that doubt comes up, because when you start to go to that next level and you start to do things differently in your business, in your life, doubt is going to come. And you have to be able to shut that down and keep moving towards your goal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the mindset.
That's excellent. That really hits it on the head, and I think it's interesting, especially with social media, that people can project these images out here and make people really feel, like you said, oh, I'm wrong because this person has all these beautiful pictures and they're doing things and I'm not doing anything, and then you don't see what you have accomplished.
I call them social profitable entrepreneurs. That's what I call, like, being an accountant. I've seen where there are pictures on, social media, and it looks as if they are living the fabulous life. Mm-hmm. But behind the scenes, they're one client payment away, or they have 3 and 4 jobs, but they are portraying as if the business is giving them this lifestyle. And I've noticed clients that would take a look at other entrepreneurs and doubt themselves, not even realizing that behind the scenes is really not what it seems like.
Wow. And you get to see the behind the scenes.
Yes. Yes.
You see what's really going on. So that's another wonderful insight that you have, because you really know the stories, not just the pretty picture. You know what's going on behind the scenes. I think that's important also. So the mindset, you're really telling us how the mindset is so important and it's key for people to now be able to accept the other things that they're going to do. So what is your next strategy?
Absolutely. And to go on the mindset a little bit more, there are money blocks that may be blocking entrepreneurs from going to that next level. And I go into detail on some of the things that you need to look for if, you have money blocks. Like it could be things that happened when you were a kid that are now affecting you as an adult. So there are a couple of different methods under the mindset that we must work on in order to go to that next level in business.
Right.
The second method is the money. So this is huge. Entrepreneurs are so passionate about what they do that they only want to focus on that. However, the foundation of a successful, profitable business is the money. That's the foundation. And if your financial foundation is not on solid ground, you will continue to struggle in your business. Now, what happens is that if I go into business to be a graphic designer, I don't want to do accounting and bookkeeping. I don't want to look at this stuff, but you have to in order to know how to go to the next level. So in the book, I discuss preparing your financial reports and making sure that you review them at least on a monthly basis. And the top 2 financial reports that you should be preparing and reviewing is the profit and loss statement as well as the balance sheet.
Mm-hmm.
I also provide a money tracker. I tell my clients to date their money. And when I refer to date their money, I mean take a day out of each week and you sit down and you look at your revenues, you look at your expenses, the money that went out, the money that came in. You take a look at your net profit or your net loss. You take a look at your highest paying client. What characteristics does this client have? Where did you find this client? What have you done with them thus far? Because that is going to really help you understand your unique financial language. And once you understand your UFL, you can then move your business to the next level because you know the trends of your business. Like, for example, you'll know when to market, how to market, where to market. You would know what vendor shows you should attend. You would know the type of client that you're supposed to work with and where to find them. It is so much that can be pulled from reviewing your financial reports.
That's very good, because that definitely tells you right there where you can put your efforts, or at least more of your efforts, because obviously that's connecting you with someone who needs what you're providing. And instead of ignoring them and thinking, oh, my client has to look like this or be here or be there, which I think some people do. They don't really look at these are the people who really want what I'm providing, but they think they know who they want to go for. Maybe for some people, they're looking for something more glamorous, shall we say.
Yeah.
Something that looks a certain way to them, and they don't see that the people that really can use what they have to provide may be right there, and they don't even see it.
Yep.
Right. That's excellent. That's very good. So what is your next?
The profit. Now this one.
That's the good.
Yes, that's why I saved this one for the very last part of the book. But this section is really, really good. So what I'm going to do is provide you with about 4 to 5 ways to increase your profit. So before I get into the strategies, I want to first let everyone know that, of course, your profit is that bottom line number. So a lot of times entrepreneurs will focus on the revenue, which is the top line number, which is good. However, the true measure of a successful business is one that can continuously increase their bottom line, which is the profit. So you have your revenue minus your expenses, and what's left is going to give you a net profit or a net loss. Okay? So in order to increase your bottom line, the first thing you must do is you must become productive. So to kind of piggyback off of what we discussed earlier, if you were spending your time on social media, that means that you're not making any money because you're focused on the posts on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the other ones. What you need to focus on are revenue generating activities. And the way that you do that, I created what I call is the profit generator list. And it's similar to the to-do list, but it focuses on the money. So as a CEO, again, you should be focused on those activities that's going to bring in more money into your business. But how do you know what activities are going to bring in more money to your business? What you want to do is you want to make a list of everything that you have to do for that week or that day. And then next to each thing, you write down how much money you're going to earn once you complete that task. Once you identify, okay, I'm going to earn this amount for each task, then you sort it by the highest revenue generating activities, and then you complete those first. And you invoice your clients. So now you have money coming in. And the great thing about this profit generator list, everything else that is not bringing in revenue into your company, you can find you a virtual assistant and outsource that. So now you're spending more than 90% of your time on only those things that are going to bring in money into your business.
Excellent. Excellent. I like
Most people like that. They're like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, because it's right there in black and white. I mean, you can't argue with that.
And then I also included a money workbook, so you don't have to try to reinvent the wheel. You could just download the money workbook, goes with the actual book, and in there is a copy of a profit generator list, and you could just make copies of it and use it continuously.
Excellent. Very good.
And then the next thing I want to talk about is reaching your revenue goals. So I have found that a lot of times entrepreneurs will say that I want to make $100,000 within the next 12 months, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then that number seems so big and so overwhelming, and they often wonder, well, how am I going to do it? And they get hung up on the how. So
Mm-hmm.
what I have done was help entrepreneurs to break your revenue goal down into its smallest part. So if you want to make $100,000 within the next 12 months, what you are supposed to do is break it down into how much that is going to be on a monthly basis, which is like $8,333. And
Mm-hmm.
then you break it down into a weekly basis, which is around $2,000. And then you further break it down into a daily basis. The reason why you want to break it down into the smallest amount is because now you can create a product or a service for each dollar figure that you need to make. So now you can create a product for your daily goal, your weekly
Mm-hmm.
goal, your monthly goal. So when you sell those products, you've reached that goal. And then what I tell my clients to do, the daily and the weekly product goal, you have those for sale all of the time. And you market those all the time. If you sell 3 or 4 of those within a given day or a week, you've reached your goal.
Mm. Very good. And that's very easy to understand.
I try to make it easy, fun, and practical. No accounting language at all. It's just as if I'm sitting down talking to one of my good girlfriends.
That's perfect. Because I can see for myself, those numbers and people talking that way, you're like, oh, I can't hear this because you get confused and then you shut down.
Yep. Yep.
What you're saying is just, okay, that's common sense. It seems so much common sense, but when if you try to think of it yourself, it wouldn't make sense.
And then you make it so complicated, and it's like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And it goes back to that mindset. Instead of you believing that I am building a 6-figure business, you're now wondering, how in the world am I going to do this?
Yes, you're right. Exactly right. Great. Okay, I'm ready for more.
Okay, so the next thing I want to discuss is raising your prices.
Mm-hmm.
This is a challenge for entrepreneurs because, again, they'll take a look at their competitors. They'll find a service that is similar to the service that they're about to launch or the service that they currently now have in the marketplace. They'll see what their competitors are offering as far as an investment for that service, and they'll either do one of two things. They're going to price it above them and out of the market, or they're going to price it below them, and then they are not going to make a profit from that service. What entrepreneurs have to do is to make sure that they're pricing their services for profit. And the only way to do that is to factor in what's going on in their business and not a business out there that is similar to theirs. No matter how similar the two companies are, the CEO is a unique person. There's only one person. There's only one you. There's only one me. So it doesn't matter if our businesses are similar to each other because they're not going to do everything that I'm going to do and vice versa. And their household runs different than mine. So what an entrepreneur has to do is take a look at their out-of-pocket costs, their value that they bring to the table. So your value consists of your expertise. It consists of how you're going to offer the service to your clients. If you're going to do like a virtual, a face-to-face, live, how you're going to offer your services and their out-of-pocket costs. What is it going to cost you to present this service to the marketplace? You have to factor those things in to determine what to price your services for. And then you must raise your prices. You cannot be you do not want to be in the category with everyone else. You want to be outside of that category. Not saying that you have to, go extremely high, but we put value on price, right? So oftentimes if we are pricing our services too low, that can kind of reflect that maybe we don't have the confidence in that service. So you want to make sure that your price speaks the confidence that you have as well as the value that you bring into the table, and it covers your out-of-pocket costs, and it allows you to make a profit in your business.
And again, it just makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense, of course. But, so many people, maybe particularly women entrepreneurs, have so much trouble around this.
Yes.
I mean, do you find that a lot in your clients?
I do. I had a coaching session with one of my clients recently, and I was explaining to her, your prices are just too low for everything that you're bringing to the market and the way you're providing the service. Your prices are too low. And she could not at the time accept that her prices needed to be raised. And it had a lot to do with the mindset, because the confidence wasn't there. And then there is a lot of fear in, if I go to this level, no one is going to buy. But you have to be comfortable with the fact that you're not going to be able to serve everyone. But then you're going to find those that believe in you, that believe in what you're bringing to the table, and they're going to be okay with paying that price because they know that you're going to deliver. It kind of weeds out the people that are price shopping, and it brings the people in that are going to not only, help you generate a profit in your business, but the ones that you can serve to the best of your abilities. And the last thing, I want entrepreneurs to focus on establishing a profitable service line. So I teach the profit pyramid, and it's a 3-tier pyramid where you're able to capture a new client at every service level. And the higher their investment, the more you are going to bring to the table and the more the client will receive. So, for example, you have your bottom tier, which is going to capture most of the people that are ready to work with you. And your bottom tier is usually at an investment of $0 from free to about $97. But for those that just kind of want to try you out to see how you are and if you're really an expert, that is the level that they can come in on. And this could include books, because books are usually $16, $17, $18. It could include a membership into a club, like I have the Profit Maximizers Club for $29.97. It is just a way of letting people get a taste of you, right? And then when they're ready to move up, because now you have established the know, like, and trust factor, and they're ready to get more, pull more of your experience out of you so that you can pour into them, then you have that second tier. And that second tier starts at around $100 up to $9.97. And at this tier, you're going to give them more personalized service. So maybe you meet with them on a call if you're a coach or a consultant. So you're doing a call with them, whereas in the first tier, it could have been a group session and there were no individual private calls. In the second tier, you have that private call. And then if you move up to the third tier, now they're really investing in you at a higher amount, because this tier runs from $1,000 and up. So now with this tier, you may have a retreat. You may have a in-person meeting where they spend 4 or 5 power hours with you, but you bring more to the table because they're investing more into what you're providing. They're investing more into your expertise. But the purpose of the profit pyramid is just to make sure that you make money regardless of what the current financial circumstance is for the client that wants to work with you. You can capture them and work with them at any given level. Yes.
Yes, that's yet again. It's more wonderful points, and that also, I think, helps those business people who think, oh, I want to help everybody, but I can't charge this or I can't charge that. But if you have tiers, then that really gets rid of that whole argument.
Absolutely.
Right. You can help people at a certain level and still maintain your business. It's not like you have to give everything away in order to, you can't really run a business that way. But then the person who thinks that, oh, I have to give everything away, okay, well, here's this level, and this is a level that those folks can come in at. So now you don't have an excuse.
Absolutely. And one of the things that you can do to establish multiple streams of income and start off at like that bottom tier level. If you're doing a webinar for free, for example, you do a webinar for free to capture leads. You then turn that webinar into a paid webinar. And now because they are a member of your club or they bought this program or they bought your book and you want to give them a bonus or something, now you can have that webinar. And this is just an example. You can have that webinar as a bonus, or you can now have them purchase that webinar because it has been recorded and they can download it at any given time on your website or something like that. So you use some of your free products, expand on them, and offer them as a paid product.
Excellent. It's repurposing everything you've created.
Yeah, repurposing everything you created.
Yes, because it has value, and I think that's so important, what you're saying, because people need to realize that what they create does have value. And I think a lot of business owners don't seem to realize that. You know, do you think that's also a problem where they're creating things and putting things out there, but just not seeing the value of what they have?
Yeah, I think it all has to deal with confidence. Like, you have to believe that you are an expert and what you have deserves to be purchased. Now, I'm not saying, you know, don't give anything away for free, because you have to, you know, to bring in leads sometimes. But then you have to look at what you are presenting and what level this is on. Is this past the free level? There's a saying, and I hope I get it right. Tell the what, sell the how. So if you tell them what to do, I tell you create a pricing pyramid. Now I'll tell you how to create the pricing pyramid for your business. So the profit pyramid for your business. So you tell them what to do, and then when you get into the how, maybe the part of the how should be a product that they purchase. So you tell them to bring them in, and then you sell them the how.
And that, again, that makes perfect sense. Because I think a lot of new people come in, they think they must give away everything, like say on a webinar or something, and they give and they give, and they can overwhelm people, but then people may walk away going, well, why should I buy?
Yep. I experienced that too. I just wanted to demonstrate that I'm this expert, and I would do a webinar, and you know, I would give so much away that the attendees, they would be overwhelmed because they have, you know, 30 things to do now after the webinar. And it's like, it's no purpose of me buying anything because I just need to sit down and get these 30 things done. And I would get emails, Octavia, I implemented this and it worked well, thanks. And I'm like, well, you're welcome, but I didn't make any money for that, but you're welcome.
Exactly. What happened here?
Right. Where did I drop the ball? So, yeah, I think all entrepreneurs, I think, probably go through that at some point in their business until they wise up and they feel that their pockets are hurting, and they're like, okay, I need to do this a little bit different because it's not working.
That's true, though. I think that happens too many times where people always feel like they have to give more and more and more, and then they wonder why they're not selling anything. And then the frustration comes in, and then everything else after that. And you see the confidence. And you know, I really see why you started with mindset, because that really is the key to everything else.
Yes, that is the key to everything. If your mindset is not correct, you're going to stay in that same position. You know, you're going to struggle, or you're not going to reach your full potential because your mind is not there. You can't in 1 second say I am, and then in the next second, it's too hard, I'm struggling, I can't. Like I tell my kids, can't is not a part of your vocabulary. Like, I don't want to hear it because it's not a part of your vocabulary. And entrepreneurs have to think that same way.
So true. That's important because it's not going to be easy. There are times when it's going to be really tough. And
absolutely.
You're going to be really tested to see, okay, can you get through this to get to the other side, to get to what you say you wanted so badly. So I think it's important to put this out here, and also, you know, as we were talking before, people see an image and they think that that's really what it is. And I noticed in your book you're talking about the difference between the CEO and the entrepreneur.
Yes. Yes. That's a big one. That is a big one because they're two different people. You know, I often joke about how entrepreneurs want to be the boss. They want the title of boss. They want to be called the boss. But there is a totally difference between a boss and a CEO and an entrepreneur and a CEO. A CEO doesn't feel the need to always proclaim the title of boss because they know who they are and they operate in as a CEO.
Well, yeah, I mean, in the workplace, I'm sure we know a lot of people who needed to tell everybody who they were.
Yep.
They have that feeling they have to let you know, and then that's what drives a lot of people out of the workplace because they go, I'm going to be the boss.
I'm going to be my own boss.
And then they're going to have to read your book. So they'll
yes.
know how to do it right. That's important. So please let everyone know where they can find you and find your book as well.
Yes, well, you can find me on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Facebook and YouTube is at the best Octavia, and LinkedIn is just Octavia Conner. And then my website is www.sayyes2profits.com. It's a movement. I'm ready to get all entrepreneurs ready to say yes to profit.
I love that. Because as you were saying, going into the detail behind that, I was thinking about a webinar I'd seen at some time that was talking about, well, what kind of business you want to build. And he goes, well, these people who have, like, say, the empires or whatever, and the people you see these gigantic launches. And he was like, well, a lot of their money may be going right back out again to pay for that launch and pay the people who are involved and affiliates. And so the money they're bringing in may not be what you think when it comes down to the profit.
Absolutely.
Right. It's not the same thing.
Because a lot of times that money is not rolling down. It's getting stuck at the expenses, or you're spending more than you're making, and you're often wondering, I know I made money, but it seems as if it has all disappeared. Like, where did it go?
Right.
Yeah. That's why I try to focus on that bottom line number. I can help you consistently bring in your revenue, but how much of that is going to go to profits? Let's get a lot of that staying in your business, rather.
Exactly. And that's the thing a lot of times that isn't said. That's why I'm really happy that you're saying it, because people don't seem to mention that profit word as much as they should out here.
Yeah.
They kind of skip that word. They mention a lot of other things. They, 6, 7 figures, whatever. But the profit part I don't hear.
Absolutely. Nope. And a lot of people, there are people I know that there are clients that I have had to help that made it to that 6-figure mark. They crossed that 6-figure mark. And while that was absolutely excellent, they don't have money in their business. So, yes, they're bringing in 6 figures, but because they're not controlling and watching what's going on in their money, I tell people assign a task to every dollar that comes into your business. Even if the task is for, all right, you $500 that's here, your task is to stay in this bank account. Don't you move. That's the task. And now your profit is increasing because you're telling that $500, you're going to stay in my bank account. You're just going to make my bottom line fat. That's what you're going to do.
Everything's got a job.
Everything has a job. Even if it's just to make me look good, that is your job.
That's it. You're gonna earn your keep.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, this is wonderful. This has really been a great conversation, Octavia. So, as we're wrapping up, do you have any final thoughts on what we've been discussing?
Only thing I want to tell entrepreneurs is that, just to piggyback off of what we just discussed, it's a great thing to make money, but if you're not controlling the money that you're making, then it's controlling you. So you have to ask yourself as the entrepreneur, am I in control or is the money in control? And once you decide that you are in control, then you will really begin to operate your business different. And I have a free MP3 called 7 Secrets of Highly Profitable Entrepreneurs. And I would love to invite anyone who is listening to download the MP3 by going to octaviaconner.com/7 secrets.
Well, I'll tell you, Octavia, this is a topic that can go on and on because it's the most important topic that I feel does not get talked about enough. I really was excited when I heard from you, and I'm really happy to have you on because I don't get people coming and just straightforwardly saying this is how you can do it and put your money together and really respect your money and you know all the things you should put in place. We don't really hear that enough, and I'm just so happy that you're out here with your book and getting out here with your movement, and I'm just very happy about that.
Yes, I'm excited. I could talk about this all day long. This is such a passion for me. I absolutely love it. I love the breakthrough, when people see, wow, really?
They can really get out there and do what they want to do and create businesses that can help others as well. So I'm really excited for you, and I thank you again for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. So everybody, I know you love this, and you're going to listen to it over and over because if you're in business, you need this information. Please pick up the book. Please go to Octavia's site and download their information and share it with other people on social media. Definitely, this is not something that you can skip if you are a business owner. So, kind of move past any kind of fear and anxiety you may have about money or charging or any of the good stuff there. Just get into it because it's going to help you to be better. So, I know you enjoyed it. And please make sure you share this with others. So, once again, it's been Women Entrepreneurs Radio with your host, Deborah Bailey. Thanks so much for joining me, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.